Hey everybody, welcome back to Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. My name is Dylan. I have my friend Shane, Shoebox Legends. What up, Shane?
Not much. Happy to be
Uh,
here.
dude, we are gonna play with some baseball cards today. We're doing something we've talked about. Actually, it was Shane told me in a text, "Hey, I'm doing a Mike Trout 27 card countdown." And I go, "What? I want to do that too." So I'm like, "Let's do it together." I don't know who came up with together, whatever. We've been wanting to do this. And that was when he had like 2 home runs left to get to 400. And that was like a month ago. And then you had some things, I had some things. And now that we're coming together, we literally not nailed the day down the day before he hit his 400th home run. So the timing couldn't be better. So what we did was we have 27 of our favorite Mike Trout cards, and we're ranking them from the worst to the best. And I have 27, he has 27, and we both have different caveats. Some have stories, some have different things, but we'll get into this as we go. So without further ado, we're going to rock and roll. But the first thing I want to say out of the gates is my niece is watching guaranteed, and Charlotte's out there. So we're going to share one soccer card from our collection. And so is my brother-in-law. So Shane, why don't you share your soccer card you brought
All right,
to
so
show?
I chose the 2018 Panini Prism World Cup Kylian Mbappe. To me, he is like the player that I associate with the World Cup. He was a teenager for this tournament in 2018. He brought France all the way to the final and won the tournament. And if you've been to Europe or you appreciate European soccer, like that is the goal when you live in those countries. And so for him to do that as a teenager, he scored in the final. He was the first guy since Pele to score in the final as a teenager, and really just like left his mark on soccer. He's gone on to become one of the best players on the globe. And in the last World Cup in 2022, he brought France all the way to the finals again, scored a hat trick in the final, and they finally lost in extra time. So he's already like the sixth leading scorer in World Cup history, and he's got like 3 World Cups ahead of him. So I think he's going to become the all-time World Cup leading scorer. And so I love this card that represents his first World Cup championship. And it's also a team color match, red, white, and blue for the country of France. So,
Dude, I'm so freaking stoked you brought that card out because I've seen that on your channel. And I was like, oh my gosh, I bet you she would love to see that card. Dude, the facts you brought out, blew my mind because I pretty much know very little about the only soccer I know is about my nephew and my nieces playing. And my nephew Titus, I asked him what players I should collect, and he brought up Mbappe, and then you also said Mbappe. So it's perfect combo. So yeah,
and the World Cup's coming to North America next year, and all he needs is 4 goals to become the all-time leading scorer. So he may get it as soon as next year.
wow, that's
Yeah.
insane. Dude, that's awesome. All right, well, with that, and I'm not going to go back and forth and do solo screen just because I kind of might screw something up. I might. Maybe I'll get cocky later, but I'm sharing an Mbappe card as well. And that's his
Sweet.
base rookie card. Man, I should have practiced before showing these things too. That's so far off. Well, there we go. I got his rookie card here, but I wanted to share something else really fast. And it's an album that me and my nephew Titus built together, opening packs. And for Charlotte out there watching, this is part of the page that is really weird photos. So when you open a pack of cards, every single card should mean something and should fit in your collection in some way, shape, or form. And when they do, they fit a certain page. This happens to go in weird photographs. So, Charlotte, when you're opening packs, every card should mean something. If the guy's got a mustache, put it in the mustache finder page. Anything goes. So, had to share that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're getting into it. Let's rock and roll with Mike Trout. Shane, you're gonna go first.
All right.
And you know what? I am going to try and see. I'm going to try and do solo layout. Hold on. Maybe it's easier than I'm thinking. There. Are you solo?
I still see you.
You still see me. Okay. I minimize my. Okay, so you still see me, but I can see you bigger, which is kind of nice. I'm this is new for me, you guys, as far as doing this on my phone. I haven't done it on my phone in a long time. So let's see. I wanted to be clear. Oh well, we're not gonna do that. No solo. Whatever. We're going with it. Okay.
All
Number
right, so
27.
these are obviously going to get better as we go. So some of these towards the bottom aren't the most exciting cards ever. But for number 27, I chose the 2017 Topps Chrome Sapphire base card. So this is a brand that I love. So there's a variety of reasons that a card could land on my list. One of which is just a brand or a set that I love. And I'm a big fan of Sapphire. And most people probably know this, but the first 2 years of this product in 2016 and 2017, they were released as full factory sets, and they were limited to 250 copies. So this is kind of a sneaky, tough card to find, being the second year. It's not serial numbered, but it's a confirmed print run of 250. It's not my favorite image, which is why it's not higher up in the list, but I love the scarcity, artificial or not, when it comes to modern cardboard. So that's my number 27.
Dude, that's sick. I'm glad you brought up the whole Sapphire thing because I didn't really understand those. So I was like poo-pooing. There's no serial number. Then when you explained it to me, yeah, I love that. And I like that each one of these cards, even if the image isn't great, I did definitely choose some. And I think we see that one on mine. Like the rarity does click the brain a little bit and makes the card exciting as well. It's not always about the image. So I love
100%. Yep.
All right. So for my first card, this is what started it all. I wrote the date when I got this card. I didn't go out hunting for this card. This card came along unnaturally or naturally. And this is the 2013 Bowman Mike Trout Gold. I bought a Mickey Mantle, believe it or not, a vintage one. And the guy sent this to me on February 2nd, 2023. And the Mickey Mantle cost me $23. It was like a low grade home run card of sorts. I forget exactly which one it was. But when I got this, I opened it up, my mind blew. First, I thought the card was like, oh my God, that's probably like $1,000 card. The guy's going to want this thing back. And I looked it up and I was like, whoa, I go, that's pretty close to what my Mantle's worth. And this was $24. And I said, hey, look, I'll keep this if you just want to keep the Mantle. And he said, you got it. So right then it started my Mike Trout collection, and I'll get into more of what I chased after this, but I thought it fitting my number one card be the first card that I picked up. So super freaking stoked. And we will see this again, which is pretty sick. So
that's a common theme for me too.
Yeah.
And that has to be like the all-time best happy accident of your collecting career. Like look at the path that has launched you down by mistake all these years later.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, and I think a lot of guys will be like, when you look at when I started buying them, they weren't at the very top. They had gotten cut. Like his base card was $2,000 at that time, his PSA 10 base card. So put it in perspective.
Sure.
But that card is probably the same price today. But if you only focus on value, I could look at that card and be like, that started it all. What was I thinking? Oh my gosh, if I only waited till now to collect his cards, right? But that's not how I look at it. It's like you look at it. I'm like, I have the most sickest Mike Trout collection. I've been building it all the way along. I've never stopped buying them. So they've come down in price, but I continue to buy them. So this collection is so spectacular in my own mind. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I don't care about the value of it. It's like this double combo thing. And I've been selling a lot along the way as I learned which ones to focus on, the ones that bring me the most joy. So right. Yeah, I love that. So we're going to touch on all that tonight. That's what's going to be sick. Okay, you're up next. Let's go.
Yeah, number great start. Yep, so my number 26 is the 2014 Topps. This is the Red Hot Foil Parallel. And this one, unlike the first card that I showed, there's two things that created this one or made this one get so high up on my list or make the list. The image is amazing. Like it reminds me of like Ty Cobb, sliding into home, those famous old photos. Like he's almost like karate kicking into home plate here. And then secondly, another thing that I focus on in my collection is big seasons or significant seasons. And this was his first MVP campaign in 2014. So to me, this one hits on both those levels. I would put it higher up, except that this parallel was a one and done. So it doesn't really have any longevity to it. But still, the image, the team color match, the shine, and the significant season was enough to get this one on the list at number 26.
Dude, that's awesome. So you sold me on that card. I did buy that card. I bought one in the beginning. It was like 60 or 70 bucks. And then they came down. I got one for like 20 bucks later. So now I have two. I don't know why. Sometimes I have a couple, that I have doubles of that I've never sold the other one because I love the card. And sometimes you feel like I bought it so much, or I buy another one cheaper. It makes them both cheaper, but it really doesn't.
You dollar cost average down on that one. Yep.
Like, I don't like to do that. I kind of fell sucker for that a few, because I never really, buying these modern cards, sometimes they do go down in value quick. And the vintage, you don't have to do that because they pretty much just hover, right?
Right.
So I have done that mistake, and I'll probably continue to do it once in a while. But what's super sick is that I also brought out a 2014 Mike Trout, but I brought out the Bowman Chrome, and this is the 2014, and this is the only green refractor I have in my collection. This one's numbered out of 75.
Sweet.
I'm not a green refractor guy. This is the only one I have, and I've learned what ones I really love. And even when I was opening, the only reason I even love collecting refractors is because I opened a bunch of them in the 2000s, and green was definitely my least favorite. So I bought this because it was really cheap, maybe cheaper now, but it was probably like 50 bucks or something, a low numbered. And I think the image is really sick on this one.
Yep.
The dirt. I just think it's awesome. I love the card, and you know more about the seasons than I do. So this is like perfect. So I had no idea this is his MVP season. Should I? Yeah. He's not sure. He's my guy, but I don't. So I'm super stoked you brought that out. So yeah, number 26 for me. Made the list.
Love it.
Okay, 25.
All right, number 25. This is one of my favorite modern parallels. This is Topps Black in the flagship set. This is not chrome or anything. I really like the plain old paper Topps parallels. Topps Black is exceedingly tough. And this one is actually my only just like plain base Topps Black card. I hope to add more someday, but they've really dried up. They're really difficult to get your hands on. So yeah, great batting image. Wasn't a significant season or anything, but really this one made it in at number 25 just because of my love of this parallel and kind of the challenge in chasing these down. And this is numbered on the back to 70. These increment by one every year. So in 2021, they were numbered to 70.
God, Shane, you always bring all the cardboard knowledge. That's why you're here. You get the cardboard knowledge and the joy of the card itself. And I forgot to add too, for my Bowman Chrome, the reason I bought this card, because I'm trying to make the run of Bowman Chrome, one Bowman Chrome from every year Bowman Chrome exists in a harder to find refractor of all my guys. That's every card that I buy tends to fit a theme now more than when I first started buying these modern cards.
Well, it's cool too that you've kind of used Mike Trout as a way to learn about the modern hobby, because there's so much out there. You really do have to develop some kind of guardrails or framework to keep yourself from just going crazy and having, a top 27 instead of a top 270.
Well, and yeah, absolutely. And I probably have about 80 Mike Trout cards. And before, I told you off camera, I had sold a bunch, and I told other people, I told everyone I was selling cards, but I sold a bunch of Mike Trout, like ones that were like not numbered, just things that I just thought were cool. But, you narrow your focus and you learn as you go. And so, yeah, like, dude, it's been awesome. Well, here's one that I didn't learn from. that I just love. So we're on that was number 25, right?
25. Yep.
Okay. So my number wow, we just missed. Oh, wow, that's pretty funny. God, we're so close on these. I should almost switch these. I won't switch them though. My number 25, I wouldn't buy this again if I saw it today. This is 2015 Topps Mike Trout 1975 Topps Mini. So however these came, I definitely wouldn't buy a PSA 10, and I wouldn't buy this in a graded form. If I bought this card again, which I probably would if I didn't have it, a version of the Mini 75, because I love displaying this next to my 75 minis, my vintage ones. It goes right next to my Younts. I've had it displayed many times.
Yep.
And it's the exact same size. So it's spectacular. But, it's not serial numbered. I know these are a little more tough than, I don't know a lot because I didn't do a lot of research when I bought this card. I thought about selling it because it's in a 10. But it's part of my collection now, and I'm not going to sell it. It's made the purge. Maybe one day it will get cut because I have one more 75 mini, same, different image, different set. So technically could go, but I just love it. It's part of my collection, and it goes on my vintage wall. So, yeah, number 25, it made my list. So, boom.
Well, you might not have bought it in a PSA 10. I love that you have that card because that just belongs displayed next to like a Robin Yount mini from 75.
Exactly. And it's not worth selling the 10 and then what? It's already labeled. It didn't cost very much to begin with. So yeah, freaking stoked. Okay, 24.
All right, number 24. We're going back to Topps Chrome Sapphire here. This is the 2019 release. And I like the fielding image here. I tend to prefer batting poses just in general, but with Mike Trout, like the thing about him, he does it all or did it all. Like it wasn't just about his batting, it was his speed, his stolen bases, his fielding, his arm, like true five-tool player, which is why he's like a war king, as far as modern players go. And then also this is his third and final MVP year as well in 2019. So I think that makes this one extra cool. By this point, this is the fourth year that they did Sapphire. So these were no longer coming as a box set. These were like pack issued. And I don't think the print run is known, but I think it's estimated to be around 1,000 cards. So there's not a million of these out there. They're not impossible to find, but they're not super easy to find either. And I really dig the image, the catching image on this one. So that's my number 24.
Yeah, that's like one of his more popular images, I feel like.
Absolutely
probably would have shared that exact image in my regular Topps gold run that I created. The first thing I built when I was collecting Mike Trout.
Yep.
But I brought some other ones to share. But I put down 2 cards on my list already, the Sapphires. I'd like to find a 2016, 17, 18 Sapphire, just the base, just to have ungraded and put in a one-touch to add to my collection. So I'm making a list, checking it twice. All right, next one. Dude, this is sick right here. Dude, I'm taking it out of the sleeve. You just showed one from this set. So 2021 Topps. I have the Angels combo card of Ohtani and Trout in black.
Sweet.
The last Mike Trout card that I picked up. And I picked this up when we were making our list. I was like going through my list and realizing, you guys will see a theme. I love combo cards. You guys all know I love vintage combo cards. You know what my favorite combo cards in the world are? One with Mike Trout and Ohtani playing for the Angels on the same team. And, how there's only one combo card that can get better than this, and we're probably going to see it in the future. I freaking love these things. So, and I took your advice, your expertise, learning about the blacks and realizing they're not easy to come by. You don't see them you could buy this, of course, you have the money. They're not, but they're, combo cards aren't crazy loved, but I'll tell you what, combo cards are more loved in modern than they are in vintage. Guys like these combo cards in the modern stuff, and now with that
Agreed.
ultra, that Kobe thing, combo cards are really finding their own. So I just love this card. So thanks to you, Shane, in the black, just digging it. So yeah, made my list. First
Love
combo
it.
card on the list. You're going to see more.
I may have one here too, so I'll save some of my combo card thoughts. But I'm very envious of that one. You'll be glad in the future that you picked that one up. I'm pretty sure.
I love that saying. Like, I heard someone make fun of that saying, but it's such a very saying. You'll be happy for your future self. Some of these cards you buy, right? It's so true. We get to enjoy them the whole time we have them, and then if they go up in value, we get to enjoy them even more.
Absolutely.
If they don't, whatever. All right, Shane, number 24.
23 we're down to, I think.
Oh, 23. Yes,
Yep.
you're right.
So this is going to be that, a few times in this countdown, I'm going to have a repeat image or different versions of the same card because I really tend to focus on images and big seasons, and I love parallels. So this will be the first case of kind of that repeat. But this is, again, the 2014, which was his first MVP year, that great photo where he looks like, Cobb sliding in. But this is a shiny version of it, and it's the Topps Chrome Blue Refractor. I love blue refractors. It's not a team color match or anything for the Angels, but I like the continuity of the blue refractor. So you can collect these for every year that Mike Trout has a Topps Chrome card, and that's not necessarily the case for, some cards like a Wave or, certain things that kind of come and go. The one thing that kind of bugs me about this, why it's all the way down at number 23, is Topps has had a habit of like changing the numbering scheme over the years on the blue refractor. So nowadays they're almost always numbered to 150, and that's how I think of them. But back then, in the early to mid 2010s, they did them to 199. So for whatever reason, this is to 199, but just an awesome shiny card from his first MVP season.
Dude, I love it. Hold on, put it back up. That's part of my Bowman or my Topps Chrome run right here.
There you go.
Dude, so this one didn't make the list. We could have had a pair. It almost did though. It was in my hand. Had it on the table. That's sick. I love it. Gosh, man, you really get the knowledge with you. I love it. Cardboard knowledge,
Spend way too much free time thinking about baseball cards. Yep.
I freaking love it. Okay, my number 23 is an image we've seen from you. And mine, I love gold refractors and I love orange refractors. I love orange refractors because of the scarcity behind them. The look, they're cool when you see them. When I was pulling, when I was opening packs back in the 2000s and pulling an orange, it was like, oh, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? But the golds look better for the most part, but I do have an obsession with the orange, and the oranges are cheaper sometimes than the golds.
Sure.
And so this is his 2017 Topps Chrome white jersey, orange refractor, numbered out of 25, number 9 out of 25.
Awesome.
Just it's awesome, and like you say, it's not the greatest design set year ever, but to me it's still like it's an orange refractor, and it's Mike Trout. I love it. I love this card. It really fits my collection perfectly. So I love the scarcity thing. Manufactured, freaking eat it up, man.
That's it.
By it.
I like base cards, but I mean, there's a million of them. So if you need something to kind of differentiate, at least in my opinion, to differentiate your collection from all the others out there. So great card.
Nailed it. Okay, 22.
All right, so we're going back to earlier in his career now for number 22. This is his 2013 Topps, the Rookie Cup year. I'm a big fan of the Rookie Cup, and I love the image on this card. It kind of goes back to like, they don't all need to be hitting images. This is a good sign of like his base stealing and his speed that he had earlier in his career. And this is a parallel that was a retail exclusive at Walmart. So it's got, of course, the Walmart blue color to it. And I just, back in this era, this is when I would actually buy retail cards, go pick up a blaster for $20 because you could do it back then, and people weren't, fist fighting or buying them to flip on eBay. So it just brings me back to that time. I love that it's, a non-chrome paper parallel, which I focus on. And these are really tough, like condition-wise, and there are not a lot of them out there. So I don't ever look at pop reports, but I actually looked up this card before the video here. And the total pop graded by PSA on this is below 400. And there are only, in a 9, there's less than 300 of them, in a 9 or 10. So a 9 or above. So it's not a card that's that easy to find in good condition. And I really dig the Rookie Cup. So this is another image that you'll be seeing again further down my list. But in at number 22 is the Walmart Blue.
I freaking love that, dude. I have that card, and this is my number 22. So we're right on the exact same page. This is a different one. This is 2013 Topps opening day. Blue, the sparkle one that's numbered out of the year.
Yep.
And this is one that I wouldn't buy today either. This is in a PSA 10. I remember when I bought this card, this is when I was like, this image to me is my favorite image of his.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
In the Rookie Cup, I'm a sucker for it. And I think this is my very first rainbow that I went for of any modern card ever. This is where it all started. So I have a bunch of different versions of this. This one I remember, just the story of buying this card is pretty classic. My wife was set up at an event. I was sitting behind her booth, and I was like on the manhunt for like Trout cards at the time. And this was on my slabs. And it was like, dude, I remember what I paid for this because it was like, I was like, oh man, am I really going to spend that much money on this card? And now it's probably way less now, but I spent $200 on this. It's a Gem Mint 10, number to the year. I was like, I just bought it. And I was like, wow, that was a big purchase for me for a Mike Trout card. I love it. I love this card. I love the image, and it tells a story, even though it was just on eBay. So I'm glad we picked this at the same number, same time.
How funny is that? We did not. This seems like it happens anytime we get together, but we did not share our lists ahead of time. That's just pure coincidence. But opening day was a great set. I really miss it. And those numbered parallels were like the best thing in opening day. So that's a killer card.
So let me ask you about opening day. Now, when I would buy blasters, I would stay well clear of opening day for whatever reason. Now, I'm assuming they're retail, and they printed loads of them. So when I look now at like how these ones are a lot harder to find, like when you're looking, because they printed so many base cards that the parallels just weren't always hit. And if they were, they're kind of tossed away. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I think it was a lower end product that was like aimed at budget collectors or kids. Yeah, exactly like you said. There wasn't a whole lot you could pull in there of value. I don't think there were, hits or anything. Maybe there were, but it was really just more about fun. The packs were cheap. I think you could buy a pack for like $1 at Target and get 7 or 8 cards. So yeah, probably a lot of those were lost in kids' collections or beat up, and I'm sure the odds on those were impossible. And there are a lot of collectors that really missed that set and those numbered parallels in particular. So that's a cool card.
So they don't do
No, they no longer do opening day. I think they folded it into like Topps Bunt release or something else, some other low end product now that they do instead. But
that's too bad.
Yep.
Well, that was a fun round. Same card, same image. Okay, 21, Shane, you're up.
All right, so this is probably the best Mike Trout card that I ever pulled out of a pack. I don't open a lot of packs, but like I said, back in the day when you could go to the retail big box store and get a blaster or something, I would do that on occasion. And back in 2012, I had bought a Heritage blaster. And at the time when I opened it, Mike Trout wasn't a big name. Like, it took him a little while to kind of find his place. He was a highly touted prospect. So I didn't even realize I had pulled this or that it was anything big. And I found it years later when I was kind of going through and purging the box, and it's his 2012 Topps Heritage. I just love the classic pose. Heritage is obviously a really popular brand with collectors, and kind of like you said about your 75 mini, obviously this harkens back to the 1963 release. There are probably more expensive parallels or other versions of this out there, or there may be, but to me, just the fact that I pulled this from a pack and it has that kind of vintage throwback feel, I wanted to include it on my list all the way up at number 21.
Dude, I love it. I have a pack pulled in a couple coming up, so that's pretty sick. I call that the Hugo Sons of the Pastime card. I don't know if you heard the story about him when he bought that card, but it's pretty classic. Yeah. He
That's
bought at the
awesome.
top. Yeah, it's a good story. That's a sick one. Yeah, that's awesome. It's nice to have a card you pulled, right? You never sell that thing.
Yeah, and like you with your 75, you can display it out, next to a couple 63s, and it just looks cool, spanning the eras. So
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, my number 21 is 2013 Topps Gold. So this is part of my run, and this is the non-rookie cup. I just think the image is awesome. It's not as awesome as the rookie cup, but I really wanted to share this image. And it's from, is this his third year? Yeah, third year card. And
yep.
yeah, this is part of my Bowman or my Topps Gold run. That the first thing I did when I started collecting Mike Trout cards or modern cards at all was I decided to go after the Topps Gold because they're numbered of the year and they ring a bell for me. I just think they're unique enough and they're cheap enough for me to learn that. And I have the whole run still, and I won't sell it. I have the whole collection, so it's really cool to have. So yeah,
That's awesome.
number 21.
Great fielding image too. Like everybody has their
Yeah,
preferences, but Topps has done a good job over the years of showing kind of all the different aspects of his game, and that's a killer fielding shot.
yeah, it is. Okay, number 20.
All right, number 20. This one is really outside the box. I don't think there's any way you would have predicted this would be on my list, but some of these are like, to me, I just like collecting cards that are fun sometimes too, even if, like you said, they don't have to have value or whatever. So this is one that came out from Panini back in 2022. So it's an unlicensed card, which I don't collect a whole lot of, but they did these Diamond Marvels inserts, and they were made up to look like comic book covers. And so this one is the red foil, which is just an awesome team color match. Great batting image there with his number 27 front and center. I love it has kind of like that like kapow, look in the background like a 60s comic would have. I love the collision between the two hobbies of baseball cards and comic books. They kind of like go hand in hand. So there are, as is typically the case these days, there's many different parallels of this. I think there's like a base numbered to 999 and then a bunch of different colored ones. But to me, I love the team color match here of the red. It's numbered to 149, so it's not super low numbered, but it's not really prevalent either. And it's just a really fun card to kind of mix up and add some variety into my list.
What year is that?
2022 Panini. It was in the Donruss release in 2022, and they're called Diamond Marvels.
When you either shared that way back a long time ago on your channel, or also an Otani as well. And
Yep.
I wanted to buy them right away, but for whatever reason, I kicked the can down. And now seeing it again, I'm like, I need to get one of those put in a one touch.
Exactly, and you could probably find it cheaply these days. So
that's a pretty sick card.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that was a good choice. Okay, my number 20 is continuing on my Bowman Chrome run. 2020 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout Gold Refractor. I was opening 2020 Bowman Chromes. My dad bought me some for my birthday or for Christmas, just some blasters and the mega boxes at my local card shop here. And I think the shine on these, for whatever reason, I just really love this card. And this is one that I bought two of. I bought an SGC because there's the first one that came up. I bought it. And it was off-centered. And then this one came up like, I don't know, months later. And, of course, I bought this. But I did sell the other one. And these are numbered out of 50. And this is card number 1. They do love to put Trout. I should be saying the numbers. But they really do, like you say. They pay attention, like 27. They pay attention, Topps does, to their numbering system. And they honor him when he has a good season. Or just honor certain players at certain numbers. And I love that. So,
same.
Card number 1. Just a sick card. Love me, Bowman Chrome, gold refractors, all gold refractors. Okay.
Any Mike Trout gold to 50 is just not easy these days. So
not easy. And it's not like I'm spending my life savings on these. I think the other one was like $75 and this was $90. So
can't beat it.
No brainer in my mind. You see, like, what's funny is when you compare the prices to baseball card Bowman Chrome, Gold Refractors, or Topps Chrome versus the counterparts, LeBron James, or of any basketball players, astronomical prices.
No doubt about
way
it.
later in their seasons too. So yeah, like it's crazy. All right, next up, number 19. 19.
Yep, 19. So, we talked about having like some guardrails or a framework that you kind of stick to in the modern hobby. And one of the things I love are the 3D cards. They just remind me of like the Kellogg's releases from the early 70s. And like when I was a kid in the 80s, like 3D was like high technology. So I have once again here the 2019, the fielding image. But it's really cool to see it in kind of 3D format. He kind of sticks off the outfield wall there, and it really has some depth to it. This is the second year that they did these. So there was a 5-year run where Topps did these. They were the 3D versions of the flagship cards. You could just buy them online. They were an online exclusive, and they were pretty limited. So even though they're not serial numbered, this second year in 2019 has a print run of 540. So, middle of the road, but pretty scarce, generally speaking. And I just love the 3D technology. And then everything that I've said previously about the 2019 image and his third MVP season, kind of put this one on the list as well. So, yeah, that's my number 19.
I know you love those 3Ds, and you gifted me a 3D of Betts, and I love it. I got it all slabbed up. Okay, my next one is a pack pulled. I won a box on Hobby Hotline, believe it or not. It was like Christmas or something like that a couple years back of regular Topps. There's like a jumbo Topps hobby box. And I pulled this, 2023. This is the vintage stock.
Nice.
Trout, numbered to 99. And you gifted me my first vintage stock. And that was the triple, the leaders card with Mike Trout and Aaron Judge on it. And so I have this that I pulled from the pack. I really like the vintage stock. You kind of, when you gifted me that one, it blew my mind. They're not easy to pull. And they're not like crazy expensive or anything. And they're awesome. One more way to collect a base looking card, but have it serial numbered. So if you really just truly love the base card, but you're like me and you see no value in the base card, so it doesn't click that fancy for your brain, but you like the look of it, boom, it's such a great way. Like I could just go on a vintage stock tangent for sure. Luckily I haven't yet because I have guardrails, like you say. So yeah, number 19.
Love that choice. I kid you not, the most recent card that I bought, like Mike Trout aside, is a vintage stock card that I just picked up like today. So I love that.
Dude, that's sick. I friggin' love it. These tangents are so funny. You get on the modern, get on these little kicks. You're like, bam, bam. It's nice to have a little eclectic little pieces of all the parallels.
That's it.
Okay, 19.
All right, this one, 18.
Oh, 18.
This one is pretty cool. I don't know if you know the backstory behind this one, but Mike Trout, of course, is famously number 27. It's the whole reason we're doing the top 27 countdown. But there was one game where he wore the number 45. And so I have that card here. It's the 2019 Topps Update, the All-Star Game card. I usually stay away from these and I try to stay with just base cards, and I kind of avoid the All-Star Game cards. But this one is really special, and this is the Topps Black version of it, numbered to 67. But what happened here is his teammate, Tyler Skaggs, had passed away from an overdose just like a week or two before the All-Star Game in 2019, while the team was on a road trip, actually. Like, they all showed up at the stadium. He didn't show up. They went to investigate, and they found him in his hotel room. So it was really traumatic for the guys on the Angels. And Mike Trout, in order to kind of pay tribute to him, he wore his number 45 in the 2019 All-Star Game. And as far as I know, that he's the only player that ever did that, or that would have done that. I think he had a teammate who also wore number 45, but he was injured, so he didn't actually play in the All-Star Game. So I just love the photo, the fact that you have the number 45 prominent there, and kind of the backstory just to show kind of what a good human being Mike Trout was, just to kind of do that, to honor him and his family, and bring a little bit of attention to his life where he had recently passed away. So I think that 2019 All-Star card is really special for that reason, and I'm grateful to have a Topps Black version of it.
Dude, that's an awesome story, Shane. Thanks for sharing that. I had no idea.
Yep.
That's a really, really special card, and what a great story. That's
yeah,
awesome.
kind of it shows his human side as a teammate, beyond the game of baseball or the diamond. So I like the backstory.
Mike Trout is an incredible individual. He's such a good person. He's like Aaron Judge. Those guys are really, really good humans, and maybe that makes Trout less collectible because he doesn't have that a lot of guys like the angry guy or this or that, but Trout's just such a great family guy, a good person, and he had in his family, his dad, the whole story of Trout is pretty awesome. So that's awesome. I put that on the list too. So that's pretty cool. All right, my number 18 is what year is this? 2018 Topps Archive. So this is a rookie card. Victor won't tell you it's a rookie card, but it's a rookie card of Ohtani, and Trout is on it. Combo card, and this is just the archive. And this is from 1959. They had the same design. It's 59, I believe.
Yep.
They have the same design going on in 59. It's a bunch of Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews, sick one. So to have this, no brainer for me. This is super cheap. I took a long time to buy this because I'm not into like base cards, and this is a base card. But I had to have it. It's a combo card, and I could display this, and I have right next to that Hank Aaron, Eddie Matthews card, two of my favorite vintage teammates ever, and my two modern favorite teammates of all time right here. So there we go.
Love that you chose that one. Now, we touched on it briefly, but one of the cool things about collecting modern and the throwback modern sets is being able to kind of link those two eras together and display them. And you are the king of displaying your cards, so perfect choice.
All right, number 17.
All right, so I have my combo card now that I've picked here, and it's one of my favorite parallels. I think we're clubbies on this one. It's the 2019, Topps. This is the Independence Day Pacific Power. I'll save it here because I know we have a lot to get through, but everything you said about the combo cards and these two guys in particular, what I always think of when I see Trout and Ohtani, it's like a stark reminder to me of how much of a team game baseball is, because they had on the same roster the best player from the 2010s and who's looking to be the best player from the 2020s, and they couldn't win anything with those two guys on the roster. And if they had been like a basketball team with those two guys, they would have had like 4 championships, because you control so much more of the action with just a couple players. But it just goes to show you that like 1 or 2 players can't win you a World Series. You need more than that. But I love seeing these two guys on this card, and it's a great team color match for the Angels as well. So that's my number 17.
You nailed that perfectly. Perfectly said with the sport and baseball and how it is like that. And we can go on and on about that. You're going to see that card later.
Nice. I was hoping we'd have at least one on both of our lists.
Dude,
yeah.
Absolutely. All right. My number 17, just one of the first cards I think I purchased as well. And 2012 Topps Mike Trout, 1987 Topps Mini, Future Stars. And, I have a binder that it says Topps Heritage and Classic Designs from 1951 to present day. So this one is part of it. So I don't need any others that represent 1987 Topps, like any other remakes. This goes in that binder, and this takes a place for 1987 Topps. And I could put this right next to my other 87 Topps, and this is the mini version. I love mini baseball cards. They're my favorite. Just a sick card. Had to go up there. And it's my classic Angels uni as well that he's wearing, like the California Angels style. This is my childhood in a nutshell with Wally Joyner right here instead. So there we go.
Yeah, or Bo Jackson. Those Future Stars cards are just awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think Wally Joyner's is a Future Stars, a rookie cup, but yeah.
Kill it.
Number 16.
All right, so this is the 2023 AL Home Run Leaders card. That, of course, is more in my collection because it's a Judge card than it is a Trout card, but I think it's cool that he's on it. And this is one of my best versions of it. This is the Sapphire, and it's the red numbered to 5. So this, it's my only Mike Trout red numbered to 5. And it would have been higher on the list, except that, like I said, it's mainly in my PC because it's Aaron Judge. But I love that you've talked about it before, but I don't really hear anybody else mention it. Like, despite all the injuries and all the other issues, like as late as 2022, he was in the race for the home run record and put up a 40 home run season. And with the way things have gone recently, he may never have another 40 home run season. This might be his last. He may never make the podium, again, in terms of home run leaders. But I love that, he's got that place in history. Everybody will remember Judge's season. But then right there on the middle of this card, you have, Mike Trout swatting 40. So just a cool card for that reason. And of course, the red sapphire is a great team color match for the Angels too. So,
dude, so stoked you shared that card too. I mean, I still think Trout, I'm optimistic though. I still think Trout's going to come back. He'll have like a Paul Goldschmidt season.
He could.
I realize I think mentally for him, it seems like when he's on the field, he hits better as well. He can't just sit there. I just don't think it's in him. So if he can stay healthy, which he did semi this season, but stay healthy and stay on the field, I think he's going to have he's going to have one more year because 22 was right there. So epic card. And I don't know if we're going to see that card again because I did kind of put that, I thought about it, but I did kind of put that as an Aaron Judge card.
Right.
So, okay. My number 16, we're going back to combo. We're going back to black. 2022 Topps update, Ohtani, Trout, black parallel. They have so many of these where they're shaking hands. I just love it, Bingo. Yes.
Didn't make my list, but we're clubbies on that one. Yep.
What one do you have that at?
This is the Topps black.
I mean, do you have that in your
This is not on my list, but I had it handy, so I just reached over and grabbed it since he showed yours.
All right. That's awesome. Okay. And those are numbered out of 71.
Yep.
As you say, number 26 I got here. Okay, number 15.
All right, number 15. This is getting to be maybe old hat at this point, but I'm going back to the 2019 Topps well again. I just love the image. I love the third MVP, and as I've mentioned, I'm a fan of the blue refractor from Topps Chrome. This is late enough in his career where they did have the numbering to 150 at this point, which is what I generally think of it as today. And this is probably I would say my second favorite of this 2019 flagship, image, the blue refractor. That's
awesome. I don't have that card, and I would love to own every. You sold me on the blue refractors too. They really look good for Yankees and Angels cards for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, my number was it 15 or 14?
That was my number 15.
Okay,
yep.
That's what I thought. Okay, my number 15. We're going back to the same image for me too. 2013 Topps, and this is my favorite. This is the sliding Gold Cup, and another card I wouldn't buy today in this form. This is in a graded Gem Mint 10. I could probably sell this for what I paid for now. So I've actually thought of unloading it just because do I really need this thing in a freaking 10? Absolutely not. But, I already got it. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I got to sell it. I need to recoup $100. No, who cares? Just awesome. So there we go. Got it.
All right. So this is, I honestly, you couldn't make this up, but for my number 14, I'm just going to follow suit. Same exact card that you just showed. Mine happens to be a PSA 9, so we're pretty much clubbies on this one. But yeah, everything you said, and especially something about Topps Gold and the Gold Cup combined is just like perfection. So there you go.
Mine's so much better than yours. It's great.
100%. Look at this crummy 9. Oh,
so horrible.
Brutal.
Why would you buy that?
So yeah, we were one number apart on that one.
Dude, that's sick. That's 2. We were pretty close on.
Yep.
Okay, my number 14. We're getting more up. This is my favorite modern parallel right now. Just freaking love it. This is 2024 Topps Chrome Gold Ray Wave, numbered out of 50. Now I want all his regular, his true golds as well from each season from here on out because they're pretty inexpensive. They're like $50. You can get them for, maybe his true gold a little more, but this is like $50.
Nice.
I love this. I love the look of these. If I could put myself on solo, I would. But I can't recommend this parallel enough to anyone who just wants a really good looking parallel that they make now. The shine's incredible. It's just really special. And I love the image from this season. I love the design. 2024 Topps Chrome for the win.
Sweet.
14. Okay, number 13.
All right, my number 13, it's going to be another version, and I promise I'll have some more diversity here in the top 10, but for number 13, this is going to be another version of his 2014, and this is the Target Red. So again, I love the retail release. I love that it's a team color match for the Angels. Way further down at the beginning of my list, I had the Red Hot Foil, but I'm a guy who kind of prefers like the paper parallels when it comes to modern, so I just really, really dig the Target Red. And this, I don't know if it's because people haven't submitted a lot of them or because they really are this scarce, but this is another one that I looked up the pop report on. There have only been 61 of these graded, period, by PSA, and out of that, only 44 of those were a 9 or a 10. So,
wow.
Just a kind of a sneaky, hard to find color match card from his first MVP season. So that's why it's awesome. As high as it is on my list.
Dude, that's so great about modern cards is that they make these parallels. You can have, if you love an image, you love a card, you can buy it in different forms. It's just awesome. All right, my number 13, I'm sticking to the same thing. We're going from 2024 regular Topps Chrome to another part of my collection that, dare I say, is one of my favorite collections. I mean, all of my collections are really special, but I tend to go in this binder a lot. And it's the Topps Gilded collection. And this is a Mike Trout, and this is the Gold Ray Wave Refractor, numbered out of 25. Do you have a Gilded coming up in your collection?
I do.
I'll let you talk about them because you turned me on to the Gildeds. But I collect these with Willie Mays, Clemente. I have a couple guys that I'm trying to collect all of them. Mike Trout is one of those guys. Card was relatively inexpensive in the $63 range. I think I spent on this, and I just love it. I love this card. Fun way to collect cards. So I'm gonna let you talk about Gilded more.
It's cool too. Like I really dig that you can get the same parallel and the same effect across those two different sets. So that's another way that you can kind of display and enjoy two cards together that are from two totally different releases. So really cool.
Yeah, love it. Okay, your number 12. We're getting there.
All right, here's where we have some variety, or we start to get off the beaten path a little bit. So this is a card from 2013. This was an insert card in Topps Archives, and it's called Gallery of Heroes. Now, this is basically a stained glass, like an acetate card. And I don't know how well this will work on camera, but these look the best when you give them a little bit of backlighting. And you can kind of see the effect, like, yeah. It looks like basically a stained glass window like you'd see in a church. The whole card is transparent. It's a see-through card. Just really, really neat. I actually collected this whole insert set. So there was I think 15 or so cards, and it was a mix of active stars and retired players as well. So you can get like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and have them in the same card as you can have Mike Trout. So this one's on there just because it's a really wild material. I love acetate cards and things that are just different or colorful. So big fan of this one.
I love it. I love it. You share that. Another one that I wrote down right here. Is that an expensive card or a one-touch collection I could buy?
It could be. They're not numbered, but they're not really plentiful either, and they're like 12 years old now. So I would guess if you find one of these, you may pay around $75 to $100. And they do. Okay. One thing to keep in mind, even though they're acetate, they have a black border around them, and the black border is extremely prone to chipping. So to have this, not that this is the reason I bought it, but to get this in a PSA 9 is really, really tough. Probably should have looked up the pop report on this one, but I don't typically do that. But cool card.
So if I go, I'll wait for one to come up graded, so I just know the condition.
Right.
Okay, my number 12. Oh man, this is in contenders for my favorite image of all time for Mike Trout. 2015 Topps Chrome, Mike Trout sliding orange refractor, number out 25, number 14 of 25. I love the design from this year that Topps Chrome did. I love the shine from this year. And this image is sick.
I love that card.
Sick. And what's fun about if you do get into modern stuff and you're new at it, I don't want to say I'm new at modern cards. I was new at collecting them. I opened them, loads of them, but collecting them I was new, so I was learning stuff every day. So I didn't buy the expensive cards like this was like $225. I think I won this for. I won it this last year. I didn't buy the expensive ones when I first jumped in for the most part. Now I did buy a couple, but for the most part I waited. So that's what I would recommend if you're gonna buy them. Practice on the lower end stuff, and then move your way up. Find out what you truly love before you spend any big dollars like $200. You know, God, I'm so stoked to buy. I won this card. I was like, that is sick. Oh yeah,
I am jealous of that one. I can tell you too. I've been in the market for a 2015 Trout, a nice one, because he was the warlord for Major League Baseball in 2015. So,
woo! Oh, and you don't know this, Shane, but I haven't told you. You haven't let it out of the bag because I'm copying you again. But I am copying the warlord sheet and putting it on my checklist. And I'm going to target, because I do the MVPs. Well, I'm also going to target cards because I'm kind of like, I don't have any more room to just buy regular, more tops vintage baseball cards. I'm tapped out of room.
right.
And so I want to make sure my focus, if I'm going to buy one, it's going to go towards the warlords or my MVP collection. So, and I know I already have a bunch, so it's kind of working out great, and it keeps me from selling certain ones too. So
you've got 2015 covered. There you go.
That's freaking awesome. Okay, number 11.
Yeah. So this is a parallel that I love. We've already seen one of them, and there'll be another one yet to come. And this is the final, I believe, copy of the 2019 image that I'm kind of beating to death here. But it's the 2019 Independence Day. Mike Trout, obviously. And I just, to me, the first 2 years that they did this parallel are just, they knocked it out of the park. The American flag in the background here, it really shows well against like the plain wall that's behind him. So on some of these, depending on the photograph, you may see more or less of kind of the flag within the image. The border is always really clear. But then in terms of the image itself, you just get a really good look at a waving flag on this one. One of my favorite parallels, one of my favorite players, huge season, team color match. This one checks like every single box, which is why it's all the way up at number 11.
Okay, well that one for the win for me so far on my what I have to purchase soon. Okay, and that I need that card. That's pretty sick. But hey, we're on the same page right now. I'm doing the same year. 2019 Topps update. Pacific Power. Remind me of power. I'm running out of power on my phone. I'm going to have to plug me in. And that's the combo card that you shared earlier. And this is a gift from you. Now, what I truly love about this card, I surfed the Pacific Ocean. I grew up living in the Pacific Ocean. And these are my guys, Pacific Power. Well, one, Ohtani was my guy when he was on the Angels. He's no longer my guy. And to have this card that you gifted me, now the story goes is I was bidding on this card, and I believe you won this card, and I was like, dude, I was bidding on that card. And you sent it to me. I was like for free. Like, who does that?
Of course.
Unbelievable. So it's way up there on my list. This could have been even higher, but it makes sense with my next one as well. So yeah, thank you, Shane.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it, and I never thought about it before, but that really is the perfect card for you. Like, you're living where that handshake is taking place on the globe. You're right between the U.S. and Japan. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm going to get my charger really fast. We
Cool.
don't want this dying on us. But I can hear you, so show it.
All right, so we're down to the top 10 here. So coming in at number 10 for me, I showed one of these earlier on, but again, I love the 3D cards from Topps, and this is the 2018 Topps On Demand 3D. So this is cool because I like firsts, as a brand or a set, and this is the first year that they did these, and these were even more limited than the 2019s that I showed earlier. So the print run, or the acknowledged print run on these from the first year from 2018 was 269 copies. So not a very easy card to find. And for someone like myself who loves the 3D effect, this one is I think the only 2018 Topps Mike Trout card that made my list, but had to include that one, and it just snuck into the top 10, largely due to the scarcity combined with my love of the 3D cards.
I love it, and we're going to see that image again. That's one of my favorite images too, but we'll get into that as well. I love
Sweet.
it, dude. Shane, if anybody listening out there, man, this guy, if you want to collect cards, you got to go check out Shane's channel. If you wanted to collect modern cards and learn about them, he doesn't tell you how to collect. He just talks about them in great detail like he's doing. And to me, I was just inspired over and over again until you broke my arm and I just had to start, that Mike Trout showed up and it was like, the rest is history. I love them. So, all right. My number 10 goes with the last card, but even more special. This is the 2024 Topps Mike Trout Home Field Advantage. These came one in every 228 packs. 10 card set, not expensive. I think I bought this for $12. This has my Huntington Beach pier in the background. I have surfed through that pier, shot that pier hundreds of times, surfed contests under that pier, been on that pier, caught fish from that pier, ate food on that pier, everything on that pier. And it's on a freaking baseball card of Mike Trout from my Angels. And I just every time I see it. And there's also the front of Angel Stadium is on there as well right here. So you get everything of my childhood and my adulthood wrapped up all together and my collecting to have the Huntington Pier. I had surf team every morning below the Huntington Pier on the south side of Huntington Pier. 5:30 in the morning, showed up and surfed this. For 2 years, we had it next to the pier until Huntington kicked us out. We were Chapel, and we were a friend of them, but their coach said no longer. So we had to move to Newport. Well, it was still Huntington, but River Jetties. But I showed up every day. And growing up, I'd get dropped off at the pier, and we'd surf, and we'd go to Taco Bell, and I'd buy a tortilla and a cup of beans, and we'd squeeze it all over our things. And we'd have to use the same cup at Taco Bell and get refills over and over again, right next to this freaking pier. So this is really special. Way up on there on the list, and it goes with my Pacific Powers card. I put them back to back for a purpose. Pacific Ocean, unbelievable.
There's nothing I could even add to that. That's what collecting is all about, right there. I love that. Love it.
Yeah, that could be my number one. I mean, absolutely. When I saw that card, I was like, dude. Okay, you're up, number 9.
All right. Well, this is, it's funny the timing here again, because you kind of put your own personal wrinkle on with your surfing story and your Huntington Pier. So this is kind of my version of that. So this is a card that came out in 2019. You'll probably remember this, but Topps used to do this thing called Throwback Thursdays. Every Thursday, they would release a set of 4 or 5 cards featuring modern players on a throwback design from the past. And they would often cross over sports, which I thought was so cool. So my favorite card to come out of that whole entire thing is the Mike Trout, which is done in the style of 1979-80 Topps hockey. So just like you were a surfer growing up, I was a hockey player. I lived, breathed, and died hockey. We were a hockey family, played around the clock, traveled to tournaments all over the place. I'm a hockey fan to this day. And even though I don't talk about it as much as baseball on my channel, it's a big part of my collecting as well. And this design from 1979, it's the greatest hockey set ever produced in the history of hockey cards. And it has the Wayne Gretzky rookie in that release. So now, you can pair up, or I can pair up in my collection, a Mike Trout that's on the same design as what I think is the most iconic hockey card ever made and always will be. And they really did a good job. Not only is the front a perfect match, but one of the cool things about this set, it has the greatest hockey card back of all time. It's a hockey skate with all the stats within it. And when they made the on-demand card, they made the back a baseball cleat. So they just knocked it out of the park. This is probably a $10 card, but I placed it above all these other more valuable cards on my list just because of pure sentimental value and kind of the crossover between my two favorite sports.
Dude, that's all time, Shane. That's freaking sick. I can't believe I haven't brought out cards to share with my mini ones. Like, that was genius. What's hilarious that you brought up the third. You're like, Dylan, do you know what Throwback Thursdays is? Yeah, I do. I probably bought about 6 of those parallels, different ones that I loved. I was buying the non-sport ones, like the Ninja Turtle one.
Yep.
I got a whole bunch of different ones because I collect the movie cards, but I sold all of them because I was buying them in 10. They're like $50, $60 each. I sold them all in my last purge.
Yep.
Do I really need all these?
Yep.
I had to cut them down.
I've gotten to be honest with you, I probably used to have 15 or 20. I've gotten rid of most of them myself, but that one is just so special. Just like your surfing card, I'll never get rid of that card. So
yeah, and in a way, I wish I would have kept one of the throwbacks. You know what I'll probably do? I'll probably go back and buy the Turtles one ungraded, because that's the one that hits home for me. Dude, I love that you shared that. That's freaking sick. And I'm sharing a meaningful card next too, so that works out perfect. That was number 9?
That was number 9, yep.
Okay. My number 9 is one that I took my nephew Bruce to our local card show probably 6 years ago, and I gave him $20 and I said, hey, you can buy anything you want except for packs, only single cards. And the first card he bought was a 2013 Topps Mike Trout 1972 Topps mini design. It was ungraded, but he bought it for $10. And I wasn't even collecting Mike Trout cards then. And when he bought it, I was like, that's the sickest card I've ever seen in my life. I go, he bought it for $10. And I looked at it, I go, dude, Bruce, that's the sickest card ever. I didn't go out and buy one because I wasn't collecting Trouts. And I got when we hang out, he always had it with him. But as soon as I started collecting Trout cards, is one of the first ones I purchased because of the meaning of me taking him to the show and hanging out with him, and he buying that card as a single, and he still has it. So I went out and bought this, of course, in a stupid 10. So like in the beginning, a stupid 10, but I'm going to keep this forever. It's probably $50, whatever. It's just a meaningful card in so many different ways. And it's a mini version of a 72 Topps card. What's not to love? So much goes into these cards, right? When we talk about them.
Go Bruce. I'm over here thinking. And I love the circle of inspiration. Like, here you are bringing him to a card shop to inspire him, and then he ends up in turn inspiring you with a card in your collection. That's just perfect.
He's inspired me in a lot of different ways and guys I collect, which is just classic. So, okay. Card number 8. You're up.
All right, so this is my opportunity to talk about Topps Gilded collection. So I have to give a quick shout out to 2 people in the hobby, my buddy Eric over at Those Back Pages and Jason over at Contrarian Cards, who I know you know as well. Those 2 were responsible for getting me on the Gilded train way back in 2022. And for those who don't know, this is like a really high-end set. It's like $400 or $500 a box, and you get like 4 cards in it. But it is super limited in print run, which is so rare in this day and age. So this is actually the most recent Mike Trout card that I've bought. I picked this up about a month ago, and it is the 2022 Gilded Mike Trout. And this is just the base card, quote unquote, but even the base cards are numbered to 99 in this release. And then they only did like 3 or 4 parallels, all numbered to 50 or less. Long story short, Cliff's Notes versions, all versions of this card, including base, there are like 189 copies. Less than 200 copies of this card exist, period, across all parallels. I love the rarity, the build quality on these. Like, it's hard to tell on camera, but they are so well built. They're beautiful cards. I would never roll the dice on a box of this, given what they go for, but I've loved picking up some of the singles. And the last thing I'll say about this one that I think makes it particularly cool, this is the first ever Gilded card. It is card number 1 on the 2022 checklist. So to me, this is like the 89 Upper Deck Griffey of Gilded, right? They were putting together this high-end brand, and somewhere at Topps headquarters, when they were sitting around a table thinking over the checklist, they decided that Mike Trout was going to be the face of this brand and the very first card ever released. So I think this is like arguably the most special gilded card for that reason. And this is, I never buy PSA 10s, but I bought this in a 10 because it was like $100. I couldn't believe it. And I just think for all the reasons I just laid out, it's a really special modern baseball card. So that's my number 8.
I love it. I love that you shared both those channels and you talked about them. And I have that card. I had no idea that was card number 1. And I love that you always bring up the fact that you love the beginning of series that Topps put together. You're the first parallel, first time they did it, the first year they made the set. And I think it seems like Gilded, like I truly love it. You sold me on the whole story, but when I held one in hand, like I bought a bunch raw in the beginning, they really are really, really good quality. They're
beautiful.
Really, really nice. And they're the classic design from the season. So that 2022 is the same design of 2022 Topps.
Exactly.
The gilded look to it.
100%. Yeah, these are just incredible cards. So, yeah.
And the PSA 10s, like a 9, the 10s don't demand that much because most of them come out of the PAX 10s, which is great. So when you go hunting, if a 10 shows up, you just buy it because the 9 in that's 50 and the 10 is 100. So it's pretty awesome. And that kind of goes across the board of all the guys.
Right.
I don't collect the rookies from the set, but at least all the guys I'm collecting.
And other than like, I know there's these sets that, $30,000 pack that comes in a briefcase or something. But as far as like pack issued kind of standard sets with checklists, I don't think there's anything in the modern hobby that even approaches that in terms of scarcity. Like for there to be under 200 copies of all versions of that card across every parallel down to the 1 of 1, it's just unheard of in this day and age.
That's awesome. Freaking stoked you brought that up. Dropping it. Woo! I know Petty ain't watch. You might watch this far, but a lot of guys crap on Gilded. But I really love it because I think a lot of guys think you're spending so much money on these cards. You're not buying every card from the set. You're just buying the ones you want for not tons of money. All right.
It's like buying a used car. You let somebody else take the hit and then you chase down the stuff you want afterwards,
Totally. Imagine because my flip, I say in 2024 Gilded, the manufacturer price for a box, I put it on the flip, $579, 5 cards per box, or five packs per box, 5 cards per pack. I don't know. I think that was how I said it. But yeah, it's crazy. Let them do it. As Eric says, you buy, you cry, I buy.
That's it.
My 9 too. All right. So my number 8 has a story from my childhood wrapped up in this card. I don't know if you guys ever played the game Bases Loaded on NES, but when you switch your pitchers, they come out in a golf cart. They play the music, whatever it is. And this is Ohtani and Trout, and in a golf cart together on Ohtani's rookie year. And this is the gold parallel numbered to the year. And every time I look at this card, I think of that game. And me and my buddy Danny grew up playing this game nonstop, and that was our favorite part, to switch the pitchers out, because the graphics back then were so bad, but the graphics of the guy driving the cart out was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. So seeing this and these two guys in the cart, it's a freaking sick one. It's just a sick card. Yeah.
In the very near future here, there's going to be 7 MVPs represented on that card.
That's pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. Yeah, I think the combo cards of Trout and Ohtani are truly pretty special cards. And
100%.
They're not blown up to the point where the base cards are still worth a lot more. But freaking, this is his rookie year. This is his. When I was a kid, if it came from your rookie year, it's his rookie card. I don't care what people say. My brain, this is his rookie card as well. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. So I love it. So, okay, card number 7.
Great choice. All right, so this one, I think based on a comment you made earlier, you're not including this on your list, which I can see why. But I chose the Archives Signature Series, the triple auto home run card. And I talked about this, I'll keep it brief because I talked about it when I showed the Sapphire Red, but all the same logic applies here. And this is my only Mike Trout autograph. And to be honest with you, it might be higher on the list if it wasn't for the fact that I mainly collect it because it's a Judge card. But again, I love that late career 40 home run season and the fact that all three of these guys held this card, signed it on card. There's only 7 copies in existence, and I know you have one as well. So there's 5 others floating around somewhere out there. And yeah, really special Mike Trout auto.
Insane card. I had a hard time not putting that on my list, but I just kept it simple because shared that a lot with Judge, and it's kind of your card. You turned me on to that card. So
I'm realizing now I didn't do it on purpose, but as I look at my notes, it was perfect to put it in slot number 7 because it's numbered to 7. So that was perfect.
That's sick. That's awesome. And we have a buddy who wants that card too. So if we find another one, he's going to scoop it, which is pretty awesome. All right. My card number 7, which is a shout out to Eric Those Back Pages. I saw this on his channel. And the first time I saw this card, I go, that is insane. It was when I started collecting gold cards. And this is 2019 Topps Ohtani Gets Hot. And this is Ohtani and Trout. And it's either in Japanese or kanji. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But it's got my Angels out here. When they hit a home run, they blast these. The fire goes off in the outfield. And there's water as well in that area. And I just think the image is super special. Goes with my Japanese baseball card collection as well. A super special card. I think this is a card that in the future, myself will thank me for buying it. I think it's a really unique card from that set. And thank you, Eric, for pointing that out, showing it on his channel years back. And I went right after that show and bought it.
Some serious foreshadowing there, too. He definitely got hot. 6 years later, he's still pretty hot.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, we have 45 minutes left till we get cut off. So we're
All right.
number 6.
My number 6, this is my highest ranking of the Rookie Cup cards, and it's a theme that we've already talked about here, but I also have the Target Red of the Rookie Cup as well. Yeah, again, just loved retail. He was the player of the 2010s to me. The best player of that decade. And for my personal history, that's the only decade so far where I collected for the entire decade, 2010 through 2019. So love this card. And this is another one that is sneaky low pop. So I looked this up as well. There's only been 137 graded period by PSA. And in a 9 or higher, there's only 55, which I honestly didn't realize until like an hour ago, just preparing for this video. So love the team color match. Love the Rookie Cup, and this one, even though it's not all that valuable, maybe, from a monetary standpoint, gets all the way up to number 6 on my list.
Dude, you are the color match king. I love it. I love it. That card's gonna get a lot of airtime. That image. It just has to. All right, mine. This is the second most recent purchase, and I bought this on Fanatics, and it was like $40. And I shouldn't have. I should have waited till a 9 came up. But I just wanted the card so bad. And I really was like, wanted it for the countdown as well. And it's a 2024 Topps Update Ohtani Trout Independence Day. And this has Ohtani on the Dodgers and Trout on the Angels. And us Angels and Dodgers guys, like, I don't like the Dodgers, okay? I like the Dodgers history. I like the Dodgers on vintage cards. I do not like the Dodgers in today's game. I don't want, unless they're the last guys in the World Series. If the Yankees are in it or the Angels are in it, then I don't want the Dodgers anywhere near it. But if no one else is in it, then I'll root for the Dodgers. Only because I feel like I have to. But I don't like the Dodgers. I grew up not liking the Dodgers growing up. You either or, it felt like. Some guys are both. But this right here, these two guys looking at each other, and the red, white, and blue, the color match, all of it to me, it's my favorite combo card of these two guys, I believe. I don't think I have any higher. There is one higher. But this thing is just freaking insane. So yeah.
And how special to have an Independence Day with the two of them when they were on the Angels, and then one to put with it after his trade to LA. Plus, you followed your rules. They were the last team in the World Series in 2024, so you're good.
Yeah, right? But they were playing my Yankees. So
True.
I was rooting for the Yankees.
And I won't go too far down the rabbit hole because it's not the point of the video. But any 2024 Ohtani card is pretty significant too. First World Series, first year in LA, the first 50-50 season in history. So there's a lot to love about that one.
Good call. Okay, number 5. We're getting up
All
there.
right. So this one, even though I'm a guy who likes the paper parallels, I recognize that the modern hobby is largely based on chrome and chromium cards. There's just no escaping it. And so I love his 2012 Topps Chrome card because it's his first Topps Chrome card. So in 2011, they didn't do like a Chrome update. So his iconic 2011 update rookie card, there's no Chrome version of that. So the best copy that I have and the most scarce is, once again, the blue refractor. This was back when they were numbering them to 199. It's not my favorite image. I think it's a good celebratory image of him with a couple of teammates. But I just think the kind of from like a hobby significance standpoint, the greatest player of the 2010s on his first Topps Chrome card. To me, this is a sneaky good card. And it's not really, it doesn't demand a lot in all of its parallels compared to a lot of his other stuff. I think maybe because some people aren't a fan of the image, but to me, the hobby significance of this card is why it's all the way up at number 5 on my list.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite image of Mike Trout's, but it is a card. I have a few of them because I love that you represented that in the collection. Okay, good choice. Number 5. I am obsessed with these printing plates. And this is 2018 Topps Chrome Mike Trout black printing plate, 1 of 1, like the reverse negative style. I think the printing plates, to me, I know a lot of guys don't like them, but when these came out, when I started opening these in 2000, when you pull the printing plate, it was pretty mind-blowing that you had a piece of a card that actually created all the rest of the cards. Like the proofs from the 70s and stuff that you get are worth a fortune. These are the proofs. These literally created all the rest of the cards. And when you get one that looks good, I get it. Some don't look good, but some look spectacular. And this one, a 1 of 1, I bought this for like $240 or something like that. To have of Mike Trout. I'm not going to go collect all of his 1 of 1. I have another train that's left the station with these printing plates for my guy, Jackie Robinson and Mickey Mantle. But I had to have one of Mike Trout. And this is really probably my favorite one I could own. It's just a sick one. So yeah, number 5. There we go.
As you know, I'm a big fan of the printing plates. Of everything you've shown, that might be the one that has me the most green with envy over here. I love that pickup. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. Number 4 is going to be really off the beaten path here. There's no way I don't think you would have predicted this one, but it's one of the most just pure fun images on any card in Mike Trout's career, in my opinion. It's from 2016 Stadium Club. And it's a picture of him with the giant bobblehead statue at Angel Stadium. So I love this card. You can get a base copy of this for like probably $5 today. It's just a really fun card. But what's cool about this, I hunted for this exact card for probably 5 years. It's a little tough to make out on camera, but right here, there's a first day issue stamp. So this is a first day issue parallel. There are 10 copies of this that exist. And believe it or not, after 5 years of searching, I found this largely because it's a mislabeled flip by PSA. So they did not note, it just says with Stadium Club and with bobblehead. There's nothing on the flip that denotes this as being a first day issue. You just have to know. But that stamp, makes this a first day issue. And I understand manufactured scarcity, but I wanted this card represented in my collection, and I wanted a version that was more significant than the $5 base card. And after many years of searching, finally brought this one home. And so not one that many people would probably put within their top 5, but to me, the hunt for this card and the patience that it took to find this combined with the great image, I had to put it all the way up at number 4.
Freaking awesome. Leave it up to you to find the hard to find version of a card. I think that's awesome. That's why I love this hobby. You can buy that same card or you could find that card in a super hard to find form.
Deleting that eBay search after like 5 years was so satisfying. Yeah.
All right, this next one, number 4. My number 4 is actually absolutely spectacular, and this is the same image I just showed, and this is from 2018 Topps, and this is 100% your fault, and it could easily be my number 1, and that is the Independence Day Mike Trout. The first year, as I'm only repeating what you know and what you say, the first year Independence Day did Independence Day, and this is Mike Trout's, and it's just spectacular the way it shoots off, the color, the image. I mean, this thing is just bonkers cool. This thing haunted me. I think it was on eBay for over a year, and I told this story. I jumped the shark on this one. The guy wanted $400 for like over a year, and no one jumped on it, and none ever came up. And like you say, these are numbered to 76. And I finally just said, I just want that car. I just have to have it. So I just bought it one night. Finally just said, I'm buying it. I already used all my offers with the guy. He wouldn't budge, nothing. And I was out of them. And I'm so stoked I bought it. None have come up since.
Nope.
I don't care if I overpaid. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I have the card now. It's a spectacular part of my collection. And these two side by side, just so freaking sick. One of one and one super special. So yeah, thank you, Shane, for.
Well, I'll tell you what, you just did us a favor in terms of the length of this episode, and you can keep that up for a second because my number 3 is the very same card. I don't think you overpaid for that at all. I looked for years to find this card at an affordable price, and this used to be like close to a comma card when he was at the height of hobby fandom. And so, yeah, it's just gorgeous. Everything you just said. I mean, baseball is America's pastime. It's tied so closely to the history of our country, and these parallels just really paint that picture. So, honored to be clubbies with you on that one, and that made it all the way up to my number 3. So,
that's awesome, dude. Perfect timing again. That's insane.
Nailed it.
Okay, next one on my list. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that's number 3. Yeah, my number 3. This one has a story for me personally. I've built lots of ponds in my life, and I was digging a pond out. And this pond project was like, man, it was like 6 months of me hard labor digging. And while there was a game going on, it was the World Classic. And while I was in the trenches, completely covered in mud, I had the game on an iPad. And it was the World Baseball Classic when Ohtani struck out Mike Trout for the final strike of the game, and I was in the trenches. I didn't buy this card during the trenches. I actually bought another card of Ohtani's during that game, during that moment. But this I didn't know existed until I saw John Mangini share this. So I went and bought 2 of them raw, ungraded, or 2 or 3 of them raw, ungraded, sent them in to get graded like a fool. I bought them for $10, 2 of them total. Sent them in, they got 10, sold one because they took off in value, kept this one. And to me, every time I look at it, I think about 2 moments. I think about this moment of the 2 greatest baseball players from this generation.
Yep.
And then the moment of me building that pond, the work I put into this pond, it's one of those projects. I like big projects. So I have both in my memory when I look at this card. And I also think about Mangini when I look at this card, because I wouldn't have known about this card. I would have found out later. But the whole reason I bought it, everything. So I love it. So my number 3, way up there.
So I didn't choose that one, but just real quick, to me, that's the single greatest Topps Now card ever produced. Because the whole idea of Topps Now is to capture an exact moment in time. And for people who are like a modern fan of the game, that's a like you remember where you were moment. Like everybody was tuned in to that game and the end of that game and the build up. So to me, it's the best Topps Now card they've ever made.
Yeah, and let's not forget, if Mike Trout would have hit a home run, U.S. would have won, and he struck out and Japan won, which you couldn't have written it any better. Okay, number 2, we're getting down to it.
All right, so I'm coming with a little bit of heat in my top two here. This is a card that I've actually never shown on YouTube, but I've had it for years before I even started a channel. It's the Cognac Diamond Anniversary parallel of his 2011 Topps Update rookie card. To me, there's not even a debate. His 2011 Topps Update is the most iconic card of the 21st century. I can't think of another one that even approaches it. I'm not saying he's the best player of the 21st century, just pure hobby-wise, in terms of an iconic card on the level of, an 89 Upper Deck Griffey or a 52 Mantle. To me, this is that card for the 21st century and will be for the foreseeable future. And then on top of that, the Cognac parallel that they did that year is just off the charts. This was the 60th year that Topps had done baseball cards, so they really went all out with the parallels in 2011. I think they're the best parallels they've ever done, in my own personal opinion, of any year in the hobby. And yeah, just the combination of this great shiny parallel with this iconic card gives it a little bit more scarcity than the base version, which is a great card too, and is actually extremely expensive for a base card. But this one I looked up the pop on as well. It's somewhere around 460 of these total that have been graded, and around 350 of those are in a 9 or higher. So not a super easy card, but just the ultimate iconic 21st century baseball card.
I'm so glad you shared that. I've wanted to buy a Cognac version of. I wanted to buy that card so long. I still might get weak one day and buy it. I really want it. I didn't bring out any of my rookie cards. I kept my list of non-rookies because everyone knows my brain. It'd be filled with all rookie cards. The top 10 would be all rookie cards. So I have the gold version of that on my wall, but I do want the Cognac. That's an awesome card, Shane. Insane. Okay, my number two. This is my favorite image in, my number two. It's like one of my favorite Mike Trout cards I own. And this is and I have two of these. One, I bought one early on and then I bought one later. And this is the 2012 Topps Mini Gold Parallel. These were numbered out of 62. Oh, I love this card. I love the minis. I love golds, and there are only 62 of them, and I own two of them. I just love this card. When I bought it, when I got it in hand, it blew me away. I love minis. Yep, I love it.
And like we said earlier, the gold and gold cup combo, and just getting a gold cup Trout that's numbered below 100 is like bonkers. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Before you show your number one. Number one, Shane, Shoebox Legend, greatest Trout card. His favorite Trout card in his collection.
All right, so this might be anticlimactic. It's a little bit repetitive, but I couldn't put these cards anywhere but number 1 and 2. This is the Platinum Diamond Anniversary. This is basically the silver version to pair alongside the Cognac. Again, everything I just said a moment ago, just the best parallels they've ever made in my mind, and just an important year in the history of Topps and the most iconic card of the 21st century. I think this one actually kind of pops almost a little bit nicer than the Cognac even, and I say that as somebody who loves those. So went ahead and put this all the way at number 1. And it's also a chance for me. This is my plea to fanatics. Next year in 2026 will be the 75th anniversary of Topps, and I hope they do something that is like even half as special as what they did, for the 60th anniversary back in 2011. Who knows if they will, but really hopeful that they do something special for us in 2026.
Dude, I feel like at some point I'm just gonna like jump the shark and buy both of those. Dude, awesome stuff. Awesome countdown chain. Okay, my number 1. Bringing it full circle, back from the very beginning. Well, I went on a hunt after I bought this. I wanted the gold, Bowman Chrome gold number to 50 parallel. And guess what? I found not only one, I found one, and then I found one a little bit later, so I bought both. This is the one I'm sharing. And 2013 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor, number to 50. And this one, ultra special, number 50 of 50 to end it on. I love it. When
Perfect.
I got this one, I wanted this one right away. And I'm glad I didn't buy it right away because the prices came way down. The time I found this, these were like in the $220, $250 range. And I have two, and I don't have the heart to sell either of them because it's ultra special for me the way it's come. I'm not gonna buy another one, I promise. I just had one that was a little not quite as centered, and then one that's more centered. So yeah, that's it.
Dude, just perfect. I love that you started with that card and then came around full circle at the end. I mean, that's just perfect. Well
That
done.
was an absolute blast, Shane. I better end this before I run out of space. You have any final words for anybody?
No, the only final thing I want to say, like, to me, this was a great exercise in how fun it can be to collect modern cards. They get a bad rap sometimes, but you and I have both been passionately collecting this same player for years, and yet there was very little overlap in our top 27. It just shows that there's different directions you can go, and you can really carve your own path and have a unique collection. And I just love that about Modern. So really had a blast. Appreciate you having me on.
Awesome words. And I'll leave it with a few words of my own. What I also learned from this is that you can have fun with the cards you already own. You can make countdown. I love countdown. So this won't be the last countdown you see. And we can take it another player and do another countdown. So with all that said, hope you guys are inspired out there by guys like us and everybody else sharing cards in the community. Don't be influenced by guys like us. Collect how you want. Do it how you want to do it, but find the way that makes you the most happy. Okay, Shaka.